Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in podcasting, Emily Grace Deal. Emily Grace Deal, what are we talking about today?
So over the last 20 episodes,
Yes.
we've discussed investing in ourselves, creating the future, living on purpose. If we combine all of these concepts and take action on them, it seems like we can basically create any type of life that we want.
Yeah.
Right? So is there anything else, any other element to that we need?
I think there is, and this is a really important one because we've talked about all these different ways that we can create, from ourselves to our organizations to the future, and ultimately it's about building the life we want.
Right.
There's one key that I think we can lose sight of, and it's possibility. Being open to possibility. And I think when I was thinking about this in terms of when we're kids. We're kids, anything is possible. Everything is magic when you're a kid.
Right.
And I think as we start to age, everything starts to narrow in terms of possibility, right? When you start as a kid, everybody's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, that can literally be anything. There's such a wide net that they're casting there. And that possibility is all exciting. And then as we age, it starts to narrow, right? I think we start to get good at some things and it narrows it a little bit. I think we start to see some things that we go, well, that's outside of what I could ever do. And that narrows it even more. And
age, I feel like once we get stuck on a certain track and we're like, oh, we're too old to go back at any point.
Once we're on a track, it narrows. Once we start having kids, once we get married, everything narrows down. And I think what happens is ultimately we lose sight of the truth that possibilities are endless. Anything is possible for us.
Right.
We just have to be willing to do the work, and we have to be willing to make the sacrifices. And when I say anything too, by the way, I don't mean we can all be Major League Baseball players. Like, there are some limits. But what I want people to understand is we are not stuck where we are today. And I think what happens is if those possibilities get too narrow, if they narrow down too much, we do feel trapped.
Right.
We feel stuck. And I encounter this all the time with people that just feel stuck where they are. They feel like there's no better is not possible. And part of the job is helping them understand that better is truly possible. Can you see that anything is possible, that you have the ability to create?
Right.
And I think that's one of the keys to the possibility, is that understanding that you have the ability to create. Most people are unaware that they are actually living in a world where they can create. And life happens to them,
Right. We get stuck in in that space that we're in because we don't see a way out of it, or don't think that we're able to think creatively enough to figure that out, to look outside of that escape room situation that we feel like we're in. Yeah,
we feel like we're just trapped in there, and we don't even see that there's a door to the room, and there's a door right there. We can walk through the door and create anything we want, but we feel blinded almost to possibility. And so a lot of this is surrounding yourself with people that believe that anything is possible. Surrounding yourself with whatever you consume. Are you consuming things that say, you can do anything, you got this?
Well, and it doesn't mean that it's just people constantly being like, yeah, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
Because that is there. We do need friends who are like, let me throw some challenges at you.
Yeah.
Because that's how we figure things out.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no negative ever. We can't live in that world either. That's not going to help.
Yes. No, and it's not pie in the sky. Oh, you can do anything. It's magical. You can do anything. It's going to hurt. It's going to be work. It's going to be tough. But what you want is those friends that when you start growing, they're cheering you on. They're not grabbing you and trying to hold you back and pull you down.
Right.
And so,
it's not saying, quit while you're ahead, quit now.
Yes.
It's saying let me problem solve this with you.
Yes. And so I think ultimately, if we can start to surround ourselves with people that see possibility, we can start to decide, what do I want to create? And I think the elements are so simple after that. Once we decide what we want to create, we have something to commit to. Am I actually committed to creating this reality? Because when we say, it's easy to say, you can create anything you want. The reality is it is going to be insanely difficult in a lot of cases. And so that's a long journey. That's a hard journey. It's going to take a lot of patience. And so that commitment of, no, I am in. We are doing this no matter what. That commitment is one of those key elements. Once we have a commitment, we can now create agreements and say, okay, we're all in. We're committed. I'm doing this. My family's on board. My team's on board. What agreements are going to dictate how we do this? And so we start with that possibility. We go to commitment. We establish those agreements, and then we're ready finally to take some action.
Right.
Let's go make this a reality.
Yeah.
But it all goes back to possibility.
Yeah, you have to start with that.
Yes.
Spark.
If you don't believe anything is possible, you're going to be stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And, we say keep moving forward all the time. And we were designing challenge coins recently. That's one of our favorite, well, not favorite things to do, because we actually hate the process because it's so hard to design a good challenge coin.
But we love having them designed.
Once we have them in hand, I'm in love with this thing. I love this so much. But we were trying to find what we wanted to put on there. And I started Googling, like, I wanted the Latin translation of keep moving forward. Doesn't really translate out very well. What I found was this phrase, semper ad meliora. Mm-hmm. And semper ad meliora translates to always to better, or always to the better. Right. And I love this idea. And we put that on the coin because it is tied to keep moving forward, because we believe that better is always possible. And as leaders, it is our job to move people in that direction. It is our job to create that better that is possible.
Absolutely.
And so I think all of this ultimately, as much as we talk about ourselves, we do need to work on ourselves. We do need to create the teams that can make this happen. Mm-hmm. We do absolutely need to create the future. Ultimately, that future is going to be dictated by possibility. Mm-hmm. It's going to be dictated by, do we see infinite possibility or do we see limited possibility? And when you can begin to see infinite possibility, that better is always out there, man, that gets to be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm getting excited. Just talking about it.
It doesn't matter. Let's go create something. Whatever you want to create, let's go.
Another challenge coin?
I don't know, man. We just got these done. And you remember how hard these were to design. We're super proud of these, though. If you lead in a healthy way and happen to interact with us, maybe you get a challenge coin. If you're not going to be healthy for any other reason, challenge coin. Leaders, let's talk some next steps here. Really focus on this idea of possibility. Have you gotten to a stage in your life, in your leadership, in your career where you feel stuck? Do you still see possibility? Can you go back to envisioning possibility like a kid would, when everything is magical and everything is possible and all the doors are available? Those doors are still there, even if life has tried to teach us that they're not. You need to surround yourself with people that always believe better is possible. And when you can open up and see those possibilities, you can then ask the question, what do I want to create? What do I want to make? What do I want to go do? And what future am I wanting to bring into reality? Then you commit. That commitment is what is going to keep you on course, because often these things are going to take a lot of work. When we say you can do anything, you're going to have to work to do anything. Mm-hmm. So you commit. Then you create agreements. How are we going to get there sustainably? How are we going to get there in a healthy way? You and all the people involved in the journey. And then you're ready to take action. You're ready to go actually create the life you want. And my hope is that you believe literally anything is possible. You've got this. You can go create the future. Emily, if people want to send us their commitments, what they want to create, where do they send that to?
To lab@forwardpartners.net.
Lab@forwardpartners.net. If they want to send us anything online, we are all over the place. We're putting out content like crazy. You're doing a great job designing, producing all this content. Where do they find that?
They find it at Forward Partner.
At Forward Partner. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Thank you so much for hosting the show. I have a blast doing this. John, Porchlight Productions Vineyard, thank you so much for always making this a joy to do. Other Emily, thanks for bringing the vibes. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us as we are creating the future. We love you so much. We will see you next time right here in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.